Hello, everyone. So to me, working in construction is kind of like a roller coaster. There's ups, there's downs, and it's sometimes a little bit scary. So a bit of background on me. I'm originally from a really small community, Canuso, Alberta, and I graduated from civil environmental engineering. I want to take you on a tour of my roller coaster so far. So upon graduation, I found myself on the Curl Expansion Project, 70 kilometers north of Fort McMurray. This facility here upgrades bitumen to a point it can enter a pipeline system. So it was fly in, fly out. I was scared shitless. Next, so on site, I was a field engineer in training in the glamorous sector of piping installation. This is pretty close to civil engineering, eh? So it might not have been my first choice, but I learned a lot, including how to read drawings properly, cost control, scheduling, heat trace, mechanical systems, and really importantly, how to work safely. So the shift was 14 days on, 7 days off. While I was at work, I stayed in the Wapasu work camp, which is a 5,000 person work camp. Adults from all over Canada and the States stay here. But there was an upside to being in camp. One of my passions outside of work is traveling, and being in camp is kind of like backwards traveling. No one really wants to be there, but there's people from all over the world there. So I got to learn about life in Southern California, the very distinct differences between someone from Newfoundland and New Brunswick. So on the left here is fresh jarred lobster I enjoyed in camp, straight from Newfoundland that my superintendent shared with me. Next, I found myself working at Stantec in geotechnical consulting. I got dirty in the pipeline world, first in Regina, and then outside of Brandon, Manitoba. Here's the site in Brandon before I got there. The river slope has stability issues, and there's 7 pipelines under the slope here. So if that slope were to fail, there's risk for pipeline damage in a highly sensitive area. So that whole river was dammed up and excavated out and rebuilt properly. My role on site was to represent the engineer and help determine how far and where to dig. I really enjoyed being in Manitoba for this project. On one of my Sundays off, I drove into Winnipeg to check out the Canadian Museum for Human Rights. Highly recommend. And I also got to check out the Forks. Working on site, you come to expect the unexpected. Surprise ground conditions, unknown utilities, weather delays are the regular. Also, here in Winnipeg, I met Sarah the camel. Also very unexpected to see a camel in Manitoba. Sorry, in Glenborough, so that's on the way to Brandon from Winnipeg. So opportunities like this is something I'd miss if I work in Edmonton, downtown Edmonton every day. Here's the final photo of the job. You wouldn't really know anything happened, but extensive work went into preventing pipeline damage. Traveling for work can be difficult, but nothing teaches you more about engineering than being on site. So I'm currently working on the Valley Line LRT project. This is the Davies Station. It's under the joint venture TransEd. It's 12 kilometers of urban rail from Millwoods to downtown. It's the largest construction project the city has ever undertaken. I'm very lucky to be on this project and work on a variety of scope. So here's some rail. It is a rail project, so on the left is special track, and on the right, we're getting ready for a second cast for direct fixation. We're starting to see some major progress on this job. Something we are becoming known for are these spans are going up in the air just north of the White Mud. It's really exciting for everyone. What gets less attention is the amount of work that goes into the ground before the public sees progress. Right here is the Davies Utility Complex building area coming up. So we put 29 11-meter cast-in-place piles in the ground and found out the ground was incompetent to support the building. So we had to excavate halfway down the piles. And it was crazy. When you were in this pit, it felt like the Parthenon in Athens. And then, so this building houses the substation. So there's 3 levels of duct banks that go in below. How we build them was up to us, how we routed them. So I've really come to learn there's no right way to build. You just weigh the options of better or worse ways. Architectural challenges, something that was new to me. Introducing the mock-up. So this is colored concrete. So it's much easier to meet a strength requirement on concrete. Much harder to get people to agree on a color. It's also really hard to get certain colors in concrete. That's supposed to be bamboo, and it doesn't look like bamboo. So working in the heart of an active city is challenging. One day we will all wake up, and the Bonnie Doon traffic circle will be an intersection. There's planning to break down the traffic phases and then the scope into pieces. I can't say enough about the amazing people on this project. Here's a photo of us playing shinny after work. It's like a family. I also want to recognize the incredible craft I work with. Day to day, I'm more likely to learn something from a foreman than a designer. For an example, this is Johnny Foreman teaching Bikram how to skate for the very first time, so that was pretty cool. Most people I work with have built me up, like the guys in Trailer D5. When I started this presentation, and it included a bunch of shitty things said to me because I'm a woman in construction. But these comments didn't make the cut. I was too excited to share with you the challenges and the ups of some of my past projects. So to future engineers, I hope in your future you're passionate and excited by your challenges you face, that you're too busy to focus on sexist, racist, or biased comments you may face. It doesn't make them okay, but I hope you're too busy kicking ass that you don't believe someone who says you can't because you don't fit the mold. Thank you.